Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining the Love Takes Action virtual celebration today in honor of Iona Senior Services and Executive Director Sally White. We're so glad to have you with us today. Before we begin, a few announcements. Everyone is now muted. Please feel free to keep your cameras on during the event, but if you're more comfortable, you can always turn it off. If you have any questions, comments, tech issues, please just write your message in the chat function, which you can find in the middle of your screen at the bottom. And there are a few different ways to view the event. The optimal experience that we recommend you choose is the speaker view, which you can find the button for gallery view up in the top. And then after you click on that, you can click on speaker view. So let's get started. I'd like to introduce everybody. I'm Ruth Ann Bates. I'm the president of the Iona Board of Directors. And with us also is Marlon Torres, who's the senior program officer at the New York Life Foundation. And then we'll have Jessie Washington, a financial professional with New York Life at the Greater Washington General Office. And she's also the nominator for the award today. And finally, we have our award recipient, Sally White, Executive Director of Iona. And now Marlon will take over from here.
Thanks so much, Ruth Ann. Hello, everyone. This year, New York Life is celebrating its 175th anniversary, and we wanted to do something special to commemorate this milestone. We created the Love Takes Action Awards to honor local community members who were doing good work in their communities. Then in March, when the COVID-19 pandemic hit and all of New York Life operations had to go virtual, we quickly pivoted and shifted the award to focus on supporting exemplary individuals who were going above and beyond to help their communities in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Love Takes Action Awards recognizes those community members that selflessly give of themselves during the most difficult times. New York Life employees and agents nominated individuals who were taking action and demonstrating love in action for their communities by responding to the pandemic. We received 130 applications from across the country for 35 awards. Each of these individual honorees designated a nonprofit that would receive a $50,000 Love Takes Action Award grant. I'd like to thank Sally White and Iona Services for their efforts and congratulating you on receiving the New York Life Foundation's Love Takes Action Award. In addition, I'd like to thank my colleague and New York Life agent, Jessie Washington, from the Greater Washington General Office on being a community champion and for nominating and recognizing Sally White and Iona Senior Services efforts. Jessie, I'll pass it over to you now.
Thanks, Marlon. Like Marlon said, I'm a financial professional with New York Life, and I specialize in working with retirees, particularly those who are aging solo. Education and outreach are a significant part of my practice, so I was delighted to be introduced to Iona several years ago by Susan Messina, who is Iona's deputy director. While Susan is a fellow alum of my alma mater, Bryn Mawr College, we actually met when I started attending River Road Unitarian Universalist Church, just down the road from Iona. Susan took me on a tour of Iona's facilities and provided the opportunity for me to start giving workshops as part of its Aging Solo series. This program is designed for older adults who may not have a built-in network to help them plan and coordinate the financial, legal, medical, and long-term care matters related to aging. Susan also introduced me to Sally during this tour, and that is when I learned about Sally's 30-year tenure and some of the initiatives she's helped bring to Iona. This award is really the tale of two videos. In February 2020, I saw a moving video launched by New York Life to kick off our 175th anniversary with the theme of Love Takes Action. On Wednesday, April 30th, I attended the online edition of the Heart of Caring annual luncheon. During the program, I saw the work that Iona was doing to meet the needs of older adults during the pandemic. It was clear that the staff was going above and beyond to transition participants to virtual events and programs. The following Monday, the New York Life Foundation requested nominations for the Love Takes Action Awards. And the first thing I thought of was the Heart of Caring video from Iona, and I said, that's love in action. I was struck by two things in particular. First, how could Iona continue to provide the bulk of their services and programming without the comprehensive facilities they have? Second, as Marlon mentioned, we at New York Life had to move all of our operations to virtual, but we literally have hundreds of employees to help make that happen. How is Iona's staff adapting to the new technology and helping their constituency access these services online without a dedicated technical support team? Under Sally's 35-year tenure, Iona has evolved to be a critical resource for seniors in Washington, D.C. and the surrounding suburbs. And I am so glad that she and the team at Iona stepped up to continue meeting the needs in our community during these challenging times. Now let's get to the main event. On behalf of New York Life, the New York Life Foundation, we are honored to formally present the Love Takes Action Award and this check of $50,000 to Sally White on behalf of Iona Senior Services. Congratulations, Sally.
Thank you so much, Jessie, Marlon, and New York Life. We are honored to accept this award and so humbled to be recognized. 2020 has been a really tough year for so many organizations and individuals, and we saw the pandemic hit older adults particularly hard. But I'm so proud of Iona's staff for transitioning our programs to online and going above and beyond to ensure that clients and their families' needs are met during the pandemic. Here are a few ways that Iona has pivoted with purpose during the pandemic. We've more than doubled our roster of home-delivered meal recipients to over 400 people weekly. In addition to meals, Iona's Food Pantry Plus program makes runs 4 days a week. So far, they've completed over 800 deliveries of groceries, toiletries, and household supplies, as well as 636 cases of nutrition supplements to 246 homebound, isolated older adults in all 8 wards of the district, who have no other way to get the food and other items they desperately need. In April, early in the pandemic, we conducted a community food drive that brought in donations from over 200 households. We have opened our state-of-the-art Adult Day Health Center in Ward 8, Iona's Washington Home Center, for a small number of people who critically need support during the day, have deteriorated cognitively and physically while staying at home through the pandemic, and whose caregivers are really desperate for help. Our Wellness and Arts Center Adult Day Health Program in Tenleytown for seniors living with Alzheimer's and many other serious chronic conditions has built a robust day of programming via phone and Zoom for participants and support for their family caregivers. At both centers, we're connecting with participants who cannot join us in person via phone and Zoom. We provide individualized activities, and a small grant has paid for tablets, training, and internet connections for those who don't have technology access at home. In addition, to meet the needs of overwhelmed family caregivers, we've added 2 new weekly online support groups. So now Iona's 17 support groups serving family caregivers, older adults in life transitions, LGBTQ older adults, individuals with low vision, early stage dementia, and more. Now they all meet by phone and Zoom, and many have increased the frequency to lessen the isolation and anxiety that members feel. Iona's mental health therapy services, now provided also via phone and Zoom, are expected to double the number of sessions this year to 1,700 and serve more people living in low-income wards 7 and 8. We transformed our Around Town DC program of classes and cultural events for active older adults to an online world. Older DC residents can now access everything from fitness classes to filmmaking workshops to unracism monthly discussions online for free. Over 1,000 older adults have participated in these classes since March. Social work and nurse care management support continues strong through the pandemic for over 450 vulnerable adults via phone, Zoom, and limited home visits. Our team ensures that bills are paid, medications and meals procured, and telemedicine appointments happen. So thank you again for this award. We're delighted to receive and accept it.
Well, as they say in Hollywood, that's a wrap. Thank you so much to everyone for attending. If you have any questions, please hang around for a while and write them in the chat, and we'll make sure they're answered. We also want to encourage you to follow Iona on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Have a wonderful afternoon and happy holidays to you and your families, and take good care.